Hi there, Actualidad MotoGP back live. This is gonna be the whole session of races in Austria 2018. Las carreras del Gran Premio de Austria. Ahí vamos. Espero que... Estamos en pleno Moto 3.
As great as his own performance was, he'll appreciate the truly chattering. Got him. Well, if you think about it, Steve, he rode a flawless, faultless race. But was it maximum, I would say, 2 corners he lost the lead for? It was a very, very short-lived experience. There is the man of the moment. Jorge Martin, Fausto Gresini. Yeah, there are tears. Don't worry, young man, your time will come. Next time, there will be tears of joy, trust me, because it's cruel. It's a tough business when you're racing at the top. And when you think you've got a podium at the very last corner and it's taken away, people forget. Yes, these guys are professional motorcyclists, but some of them are teenagers. João Masia is only 17 years of age. It can be a cruel sport, it can be a cruel world, but his time's coming, Steve.
Oh, yes, it 100% is. Massey is a class act. He's a really quick rider. And this is just something that he'll learn from. He will. It's all experience. There will be moments where he'll be on the better end of moments like that.
Good day for Leopard Honda. Good to see Lorenzo Dalla Porta coming down to congratulate his teammate Enea Bastianini. Lorenzo Dalla Porta wasn't on the podium. He was only 1.4 seconds away from the victory. So a good ride as well by Lorenzo Dalla Porta. That continues his good recent run of form going.
Fabio Di Gianantonio will be disappointed with 11th after his victory last weekend. He's lost touch just slightly again. Bezzecchi and Martin inch away from him.
Best point scoring run of Dalla Porta's career. 4 on the spin now. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Steve. Every time Canet and Di Gianantonio, every time the doors left ajar for them to get back into this championship chase, they seem to like sort of kick it down one week and then the next week they just crumble again. Here he is, though. The hero of the hour, no doubt about that. Jorge Martin. 9 days ago, he was lying in a Brno gravel trap with a broken radius bone in his left arm. And here he is on the podium at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. The heroic, the miraculous Martin.
Jorge, only people that have competed at World Championship level with a serious injury will understand what you just did. How difficult was the race?
You know, it's difficult to explain, a lot of emotions. I think it was really hard weekend for me, and to be here is unbelievable.
Congratulations.
He can't speak. He's emotionally, physically drained. He's pushed himself there, both in his mind and his body, to places that he didn't think he could go, probably himself. And no surprise to see the emotion just pouring out of him, Steve, because that was one of the bravest and grittiest rides I've seen, and I've had the pleasure and privilege to be in this paddock since 1996.
Well, Matt, he's the real deal as well, isn't he? Let's not, beat around the bush here. He's a rider we're going to be talking about for decades to come.
Here's Enea Bastianini then. What a late fight back from him. 16th at the end of those first couple laps. He's second, and he's talking to Simon.
Enea, that was an amazing ride through to the front. You must be happy with second.
Yes, I'm really, really happy. The start this year is not my best feeling, but today it's one incredible race. From the first part of the race, push a lot for recover the gap, but was difficult because you can pass one rider and after another 2 riders pass you. But finally, I push really hard for recover the gap, and the last lap I see Arenas is go large, and I think it said me push, you can go to the podium, and finally I'm second. I'm really, really happy, incredible.
Congratulations.
He wasn't the only one going large in that race, was he? Alberto Arenas and Enea Bastianini. Yeah, congratulations. Stunning fight back through the pack there. Just giving a little cheeky tap on his bum cheek to Fabio Di Gianantonio, saying, look, let's not keep messing each other up. I've got the pace. Sit behind me, sit tight, and we'll get ourselves back into podium contention. And he wasn't wrong, was he, to be fair, Enea Bastianini?
We are entering a part of the season where he's strong as well. Here is the race winner, though, defender beautifully here today under intense pressure. Marco Bezzecchi, second race winner of the season. He's down with Simon.
Fantastic win, Marco, proving how good you are. How do you feel?
I feel very good, very happy, because I knew that I had a very good pace, very good rhythm. I tried to start as fast as I can, and I saw that I immediately made one small gap between the one group and the other one. So for this already I was happy, because less dangerous. And then I continued to make my rhythm, and 3 laps to go, Martin tried to overtake me. And immediately I overtake again and again and again, and a very good battle. And yeah, I'm very happy for this win. I want to thank all the team, all the KTM in his home Grand Prix, all the VR46 Riders Academy, and now even more focus for the next one.
Big congratulations, Marco.
Yeah, huge moment for Marco Bezzecchi. His second race win of the season in his 7th podium. Crucially, now he takes a 12-point lead going into Silverstone for the British Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. But he knows that Jorge Martin's coming, and he knows that he's probably going to need those 12 points. Martin there, brilliant to see those shots of Martin congratulating Bezzecchi. And here you see a big hug. This is so fantastic to see between two big rivals. The pair of them, in fact, all three in Parc Ferme, will be fighting each other again next year in Moto2 as well. Martin, of course, moving to Red Bull KTM. We now know that Bezzecchi will be joining him for the Tech 3 Red Bull KTM. And Bastianini, it looks like Italtrans. Alberto Arenas, 4th place, a really good finish. His best since Le Mans. He couldn't quite just hang on in there for that podium place, but it's a really, really good effort. This is where potentially went all wrong for him, as he then went straight on into turn 3 on that last lap. Really costly for him, but of course when Masia went wide, he managed to retake 4th. Arenas so close, turn 1 that was, so close to the top 10 now overall in the championship. But Bezzecchi then 12 points up. Rodrigo looking a bit miffed here. 8th place finish for him. He's lost touch of the leading 5 in the World Championship. So he's on 84 points now. Any faint hopes he might have had of being able to fight for this title this season are probably just about gone now. Shout out as well to Ayumu Sasaki. Incredible criticism he's come under recently. He's not really been at the office or at the races, should I say. But the 17-year-old equals his career best 7th place finish and celebrated like it was a victory across the line. So let's see if the young 17-year-old from Yokosuka can lift off from there. KTM will be extremely happy to have seen Marco Bezzecchi go to the top step of the podium, just increasing his advantage over Jorge Martin to 12 points, heading to round 12 at Silverstone. The British Grand Prix coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So then the Grassini team wait on. There is Fausto Grassini. He'll be sad to see the back of Jorge Martin next year, that's for sure. Hervé Poncharal going over to congratulate him. Hervé Poncharal and Pit Byra there embracing. Teaming up next year, of course. Well, he knows he's landed himself a real gem next season. Hervé Poncharal working with Marco Bezzecchi on a KTM in Moto2. In fact, all three men about to join the podium celebrations here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria for Moto3 will be stepping up to that Moto2 World Championship next year. Locking horns yet again. There are the gorgeous, the famous and instantly recognisable Red Bull Ring trophies modelled on this spectacular, breathtaking, jaw-dropping mountainous circuit in the Styria mountain region of Austria. Beautiful scenery, beautiful race there from the Moto3 riders. And there's your World Championship leader, Marco Bezzecchi. I think that's just about the perfect weekend. A 2-year Moto2 contract with KTM in your pocket, a pole position, and a race victory. Well, winning for KTM on home turf as well. That earned you a few brownie points, doesn't it? Yeah, no wonder Pit Byra was down there to celebrate. And Pit Byra, we're thinking Jorge Martins riding a KTM for his next year in Moto2, rubbing his hands with Pit Byra as the three men come to the podium. Fantastic 23-lap battle here in Austria. Closer than the fight we had last year when Joan Mir checked out into the distance. Dominic Paris handing over the Constructor Trophy and third place trophy, an Alpine skiing legend. Great week for Prustal, GP, KTM, back-to-back pole positions and back-to-back podiums for the German team. Jorge Martin then, the superhuman Spaniard, his 16th career podium, no doubtably the one that's caused him the most discomfort and pain, but 16 absolutely vital points for all the World Championship. The Italian rider
20 years old from Rimini, of course, his 22nd Moto3 podium and his 81st start. He's clinging on to that championship battle as KTM boss Stefan Piera looking on as Marco Bezzecchi receives his 8th podium trophy, his 2nd victory of his Moto3 career. Pole position and the victory for the Italian. He leads the World Championship by 12 points. Let's see the Italian national anthem ring out here in Austria.
His 2nd win of the season. Marco Bezzecchi just showing that he's not going anywhere. He's really willing to put everything on the line to win this championship. Both of them will become kind of teammates, I guess you could say, next year for Red Bull and KTM. Both want to be victorious. And so from here, I get a weekend off now. It'll be a welcome weekend off for Jorge Martin to cover before they then go to the brutal and the flying Silverstone circuit. And now Bastianini just clinging on as well by his fingernails to hopes of a championship. 41 points behind Bezzecchi he is after that one. 29 behind Martin. So Bastianini will feel he's still just about in the hunt there overall. And Canet and Gian Antonio will need to pick it up again. We are coming up to circuits where Bastianini is very strong at. So maybe the beast will arrive late to the championship party as he did to the podium one here today.
Yeah, fantastic race that then for the top 3. Different stories in many respects for all 3 of them. Marco Bezzecchi under pressure to deliver a victory from his first pole position. And Bastianini put himself under all kinds of pressure with that sluggish start at the beginning of the race. And then Jorge Martin, how on earth did he battle on, soldier on despite the intense pain? Marco Bezzecchi then secures his 2nd victory of the season here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Home joy for KTM, with Bezzecchi leading the 2 Hondas of Enea Bastianini and Jorge Martin. Just 9 days after breaking that radius bone in his left arm. One of the most courageous performances you'll ever wish to see. Alberto Arenas, Lorenzo Della Porta and Jaume Masia round out the top 6. Late hard take for Masia with Martin's last corner bold move. Sasaki in 7th place. That's a good ride by the Japanese rider. He got through Gabriel Rodrigo, Tony Arbolino and Aaron Canet in your top 10. Fabio Di Antonio, Bruno race winner last weekend. John McPhee came from last from 30th to 12th. Jakob Kornfeld, Philip Bertel and Marcos Ramirez were your point scoring finishers. No points on offer today for the Italians of Nicolo Antonelli and Nicolo Buliga. Completely overshadowed and outshone by their VR46 Academy colleague Marco Bezzecchi. Dennis Foggia had a tough first visit to Austria as well, down in 26th place. Just the one non-finisher in that race. Andrea Migno's woes continue. It's now 5 on the spin for the Italian without a top 10. He was crashing out of that race at the final corner. In terms of championship, Marco Bezzecchi then moves on to 158 points, 12 clear of his closest rival, Jorge Martin. But to go on and repeat Jorge Martin's heroics today, if he wins this World Championship this year, he'll look back on this day as being one of the key big moments. To Gian Antonio and Canet lose ground. Canet now 40 points behind Bezzecchi in the championship chase. Alberto Arenas climbs up 3 places to 13th. He moves on to 50 points now after that brilliant ride to 4th place. He was only 8/10 of a second off the podium today. Jaume Masia moves up 1 to the fringe of the top 10. Although disappointment and a few tears for the Spanish teenager after missing out on that first podium at the last corner. Yuma Sasaki, almost his first ever top 6 in the World Championship. Not quite today, but Sasaki picks up crucial points to go to 18th in the standings. Ayagura the Japanese wild card. He was in 20th place today, so no points on offer for the promising young Japanese teenager. Del Conquer, Grazzini, Honda remain in control of the team championship. 29 points clear of Red Ox Crucial GP, of course, who celebrated their victory today with Marco Bezzecchi. Leopard Racing comfortably holding on to third place. They're 31 points clear of Estrella Galicia, who had a disappointing day thanks to Aaron Kinnett's lowly 10th place. CIP Green Power will be happy with the efforts of John McPhee at one stage. It looked like he was rescuing a top 10 from 30th, but he just lost out late on in a bit of a last lap skirmish. McPhee was 12th. No points today for Rebel KTM Io. That'll be frustrating at the Io with Darren Binder in 19th place. KTM won today's battle with his Honda winning the war in the Moto3 Constructor Championship. 25 points there now, splitting the two big manufacturer rivals in the all-important constructor battle.
A great way to start the day here in Austria then, with the two championship rivals tussling it out here in Austria. Brave effort from Jorge Martinez, he recovers from injury, but Marco Bezzecchi wins the day, and Aya Bastianini's just about in there as well. 12 points the lead then for Bezzecchi, as these guys now wait for the British Grand Prix coming up in 2 weeks' time. We will be back very shortly with all the footage and coverage live from Austria for Moto2. Some great racing action there then in Moto3 and the lightweight class. Next up, of course, the intermediate class coming, Moto2, a championship that is mighty close. Miguel Oliveira comes here fresh from victory in Brno 7 days ago. Brilliant race. In fact, the race of the season in Moto2 we had last time out in the Czech Republic with Luca Marini showing what he's got back-to-back podiums for the Italian. Pecco Bagnaia just getting Lorenzo Baldassarri to the final podium spot. Although on paper, Matt, coming into this one, with Bagnaia on pole and Oliveira second, the two championship men where we want them, 2 points separating them. It looks like on paper those two just have a bit more than anyone else here today.
Yeah, definitely, Steve. It does look like the top two men in the championship. It may well come down to a straight showdown and shootout between the pair of them. Fabio Quartararo, Jorge Navarro, Alex Marquez and Mattia Passini are closest to them on the grid. None of them really in serious championship contention, although Alex Marquez still holds on to third place. Let's hope we get a repeat of last weekend's stunning Moto2 race in Brno, as Steve said, Miguel Oliveira just pipping Luca Marini with a brilliant, bold and brave move at the final corner. It was the second closest top 15 in intermediate World Championship history. We'll have a bit more of that later on this afternoon.
Yeah, and we'll bring more of this to you later on. But it was announced actually just after warm-up when we were chatting about the future of Tom Luthi that he will be back in Moto2 racing And next year, Matt, he'll be joining Marcel Schrotter in the Dynavolt Intact team.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumours and discussions about Tom Luthi stepping back to Moto2. That was kind of his inevitable career path. Hope he saves a bit of that lolly for later on. He looks like he's enjoying it. He's here to support one man and one man only. Although Valentino Rossi has got an awful lot of work to do for 14th on the grid later on.
I've given the cameras a wave. Now, where's my sweets?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, coming back quickly to Tom Luthi. Yes, joined the Dynavolt Intact team. Been a tough rookie year in Mark BDS. There was no place for Luthi to move back to Moto2 with Mark BDS, which he was kind of hoping for. That place taken by Chalavier. So Luthi, there's a long list of candidates for that second Dynavolt Intact ride alongside Marcel Schrotter, but great addition to the Dynavolt Intact team called Tom Luthi. There's nobody in Moto2 history has scored more podiums in that category than Tom Luthi, and he'll be back to compete in that new era, the new technical era next year. Of course, the Triumph 765 three-cylinder engine will be the single engine brand in this Moto2 World Championship next year. It has been recently confirmed as well that the entire Moto2 grid for 2019 will get their first official test on the new engine immediately after the final race in Valencia. A couple of days of official testing to take place in Jerez at the end of November, so that's one for your diary dates. One that we'll be very keeping a very close eye on, keenly eye to see how it unfolds and how it may shape up for 2019 in Moto2.
Fantastic venue here in Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring. 30 seconds till we bring you coverage from Moto2. This grandstand will be hoping that Miguel Oliveira can be victorious. He was close last year but crashed out whilst fighting for a podium. How will he fare here today? In terms of views, this one challenges the likes of Mugello and Phillip Island. It is an unbelievable event on our calendar. And Moto2 is coming up in just a few seconds. It's round 11 of 19 in the 2018 MotoGP World Championship. And after Brno in the Czech Republic just 7 days ago, we've moved south to Austria and the Red Bull Ring. Situated in the beautiful mountains of Styria, this 10-corner circuit is fast and furious, and at times postcard perfect. It's race day here in MotoGP. Coming up later in MotoGP, world champion Marc Marquez is hungry for victory in Ducati-dominated territory. Andrea Dovizioso leads the Ducati attack and will start from second. Jorge Lorenzo cannot be discounted. He will launch from third. Can anyone else bring a surprise from row 2? MotoGP to come later then, but next up Moto2 here in Austria. No chance of rain here today. Partly cloudy, but a nice one. It's not too hot either, as it was in Brno last weekend. 25-degree air temperature is just about perfect, actually. 39-degree track temperature as well means that at least we won't have too many dramas. It's quite an abrasive track here in terms of tyres overheating, although later in MotoGP, could it end up being a tyre war? Will they have to conserve them? We'll find out. It's the I-Time Grand Prix of Austria then. And in Moto2, Miguel Oliveira comes here fresh off the win in Renault, he's second on the grid, 2 points clear of Pecco Bagnaia, who will start from pole position. Last time Pecco Bagnaia was on pole was Assen, he won the race. The time before that, Le Mans, he won the race. Can he do it again here today in Austria? So when he started pole, he has a 100% record. Joining the two title rivals on the front row will be Fabio Quartararo, all three on the front row, moving to MotoGP next year. And does anyone else have a say? Pit Byra, big weekend for him here. Red Bull KTM event, of course, the Red Bull Ring. He's had such a busy few weeks in terms of negotiating contracts and deals. And he has some warriors lined up for 2019. Steve Day, Matt Burt, Simon Crafar down on the grid to bring you this one. At the moment, it looks like it could be a two-horse race, Matt, but you just never know, because we were dished up a really exciting race last week.
Yeah, a classic, an instant classic in Moto2 last weekend. As we said, the second closest top 15 in intermediate world championship history. And we look at the pole man, Pecco Bagnaia, who was in brilliant form in that qualifying session yesterday. It's his fourth career pole position. And as Steve said, his previous two starts from pole in Moto2 have yielded a maximum haul of 50 points. Victorious in Le Mans, victorious at the legendary and historic Dutch TT in Assen just a few weeks ago in early July. And another win today would mean he would head to the British Grand Prix at Silverstone in a couple of weeks' time, back in the ascendancy at the top of the Moto2 World Championship. 2 points he is adrift of his closest foe and rival, Miguel Oliveira, who has big expectations and big pressure on his shoulders, of course. KTM's home race, Red Bull's home Grand Prix as well, the circuit named after the famous energy drink sponsor. So there's a lot of hope and expectation that Miguel Oliveira can deliver another victory for him. It's his first front row start since the Malaysian Grand Prix in October last year. The first time, believe it or not, that Miguel Oliveira has actually led a world championship in his Grand Prix career. We can go down on the grid to Simon for the first time.
Yes, guys, I'm on the front row with the only guy on the front row that's relaxed enough to talk to us, and it's back with Fabio Quartararo. Fabio, I spoke to a few technicians, chassis and suspension guys before the race, and they're picking you to be really strong, especially at the end of the race. Do you agree?
Yeah. Well, like we see in the Moto3 race, Bastianini got really fast at the end. With maybe the fuel is not so important for this bike, but we see that he got really fast. So yeah, now my goal is to make a good start. I struggled a lot on the first lap, but nothing. Now I'm just focused and keep going to make a good race.
Good luck.
Yeah, good to hear from Fabio Quartararo there, third on the grid. Thanks for that, Simon. The Frenchman, of course, moving into MotoGP next year with the Petronas Yamaha team. That will be confirmed and announced officially at Silverstone in a couple of weeks' time. Jorge Navarro starts from fourth on the grid, in a good run of form as well. Look out for the Spanish rider. He's looking a lot sharper after a really good finish last time out in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, here's a glimpse then of Fabio Quartararo, who was just good enough to talk to Simon Crafar down in Park Fermé. Fourth here he was in 2016, very close to the podium, just 2/10 off the podium that day in Moto3. Out on the first lap of his first appearance in Moto2 last year. There was a big tussle, a multi-rider pile up at the first corner here 1 year ago. Quartararo, one of the unfortunate ones to be caught up in that tag. He'll be able to keep his powder dry today as the helicopter flies out of the woodland surrounding this spectacular Red Bull Ring circuit in Spielberg. It really is a classic venue, nestled in the heart of the Styria mountain region of Austria, a picture postcard setting. And Alex Marquez goes from the middle of the second row in fifth place. Only 3 points in his last two races, a massive dent in Marquez's championship challenge. Back to you on the grid, Simon.
Yeah, guys, I'm on the fourth row, right in the middle of the fourth row, and I'm with Remy Gardner, who put in a pretty impressive qualifying. And do you think the same sort of result is possible in the race, Remy?
I think warm-up was very important for our race pace, and I think we had it. So, I think if we have a bit of luck on the first lap, we can have a pretty strong race.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks for Remy Gardner for talking to us. Still looking for a ride next year, of course. Both Remy Gardner and Bo Bensnyder have found out this weekend that they're no longer required at Tech 3, so the pair of them will be looking for rides. Here's Mattia Pizzini, who might be looking for one himself. The Italtrans team pretty much telling Simon Crafar yesterday that their priority is to get Enea Bastianini into the team. It looks like he's going to join Locatelli, and Pizzini could be out. Simon.
I'm with Augusto Fernandez, who I know you guys think has done a pretty impressive job so far. Augusto, 5th row, best qualifying so far, possible for the best race as well?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I think we have the pace. Important to have a good start to be with the guys in front. So I hope to as I told you, to make a good start and be with the guys to battle for the who knows possibility to make a good race as well.
Good luck. We'll be cheering for you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Simon. It's been a real mixed weekend, hasn't it, for the Dynamo Intact Racing team. Confirmation there on your screens that Tom Luthi will be joining the German team in 2019, back in the Moto2 World Championship for Tom Luthi, replacing Xavi Vierge, who unfortunately, after a heavy crash at Turn 1, an incident involving Stephen Oundal in qualifying yesterday, is sidelined, missing from this 25-lap Austrian Grand Prix with some pretty nasty fractures in his right hand. We just saw there his teammate Marcel Schrotter. Congratulations to Marcel Schrotter. He's minutes away from starting his 150th Grand Prix. Will today be the day he breaks through finally onto that podium?
Brad Binder turned 23 yesterday. He'll start today's race from 8th. He was in his favourite 6th place again back in Brno. But he's obviously looking to try and find his way back onto the podium. Always stronger on a Sunday than he shows throughout the weekend. So could he maybe fish his way to the front and challenge for 3rd?
Yes, top 6 finishes this year for Binder, but just the one podium, that victory in brilliant fashion, his first ever Moto2 win in Germany at the Sachsenring just before the short summer break. KTM then going for 3 wins on the spin for only the 2nd time in their short Moto2 history. They did it last year, of course. Miguel Oliveira dominant at the end of 2017, winning those final 3 Grand Prix. It's been Binder and Oliveira in the last 2.
Lorenzo Baldassarri not managed back-to-back top 5 since the opening 2 races of the season. He needs to try and turn that around if he wants to have any say. He's fallen away in the championship slightly, but a brave effort he put on in Brno last time out. Just missing out on the podium, mainly, though, down to tyre life.
Yeah, like Luca Marini, like Fabio Quartararo last year, Lorenzo Baldassarri, his race was over in that first corner pile-up, so he'll be hoping to go much, much further and fight for the podium, like he did last weekend in Brno before he encountered some real severe rear grip issues on that Kalex machine.
Behind Baldassarri on the grid is Luca Marini. What a couple of weeks it's been for the Italian. Really making a name for himself. This is his teammate Bagnaia, but Marini will be starting from 10th. Red flag came out due to his crash over at Turn 7 yesterday. Here he is, back-to-back podiums for Luca Marini after his maiden pole position. Said he's got pretty steady pace. I don't think he's got the pace to match his teammate Bagnaia and Oliveira, but could there be a huge battle for 3rd? Well, if there is, he'll be part of it.
21st birthday on Friday. He got an early birthday present last weekend with that brilliant 2nd place in Brno. Will he get a belated birthday present today with yet another trip to the rostrum from 10th on the grid?
Joan Mir's starting from 20th. He's undefeated here at the Red Bull Ring. It would take something quite remarkable for that to continue that record. Got to fight hard here from 20th, Matt.
He has, yeah. Promising form in this morning's warm-up session, though. Inside that top 4, he was, Joan Mir. Although he was caught up when after a bad qualifying in Brno last weekend, wasn't he? In a tangle with the 2 Tech 3s involving this young man, Remy Gardner, and his teammate Bo Benschneider. Not a bad weekend for Remy Gardner. He topped a damp and wet FP3 session yesterday morning, 11th on the grid, middle of the 4th row for him.
Here's your front row then. All of these guys in MotoGP next year. Quartararo, of course, race winner in Catalonia. Oliveira, winner last time out. Bagnaia has won every race he started from pole.
"25 laps of the Red Bull Ring coming up for the Moto2 World Championship riders. It's Pecco Bagnaia starting from pole position for the 3rd time this season. His previous 2 have resulted in victories. Miguel Oliveira carrying home hopes for KTM and Red Bull in the middle of that front row with Fabio Quartararo. Navarro, Marquez and Bassini on row 2. Marcel Schrotter in his 150th Grand Prix start, and a Brad Binder and Lorenzo Baldassarri. Luca Marini seeking a third podium in a row, heads row 4 from Remy Gardner and Ika Lecuona. Augusto Fernandez, Andrea Locatelli and Romano Fenati on row 5. The two Brits, Sam Lowes and Danny Kent, they're on row 6 with Simone Corsi, who's signed up for Tata Racing again next year. Row 7 led by Domi Egerton with Juan Mir there in 20th. This is worst qualifying since the opening round in Qatar. Caroline and Powie on row 7. Tetsuta Nagashima on row 8 with Stefano Manzi and Joe Roberts. Stephen O'Donnell, Jules Danilo and Bo Benschneider round out your 9th row of the grid. Nikki Tooley, Isa Vinales, Medina, Cardelus and Fellini. That's your back 2 rows of the grid for this 25 lap